Hey everybody, DeLong Shot Signatures here. This is episode 170 of my TTM returns. Got 2 days worth of successes. Just didn't really feel like doing a video yesterday. But should be 9 returns. One of them I'm kind of unsure about, and I'll show that here in a minute. But I do have 3 failures from the past 2 days. First one is a return to sender from, I think it's Terry Busen. Former Formula One driver, and tried to send it. I don't know if it's because it was being sent to Monaco that they didn't know where to send it, or if the address really doesn't work. I've seen several other successes, and that are fairly recent, so that's kind of strange. Also got back my card from John Offerdahl, unsigned. He might be keeping track of who's sending to him. I've been trying to get all the cards for the different sets I have of them, and so I figured if I wait a few months between each, that would be all right, since he's a pretty strict one per. But sent that back unsigned, so I don't know if it has something to do with that card, or if he's keeping track and not signing for multiples for each person. And then the last one that's a failure is coming back from Peter Bondra. I sent to Pass Pros, and they sent back my letter saying, please try after November 20th. A couple others have gotten him back unsigned as well. I thought it was because they weren't sending money. My check was sent back. So if he is willing to sign, that'd be great, but it's kind of annoying that they wouldn't just hold it for another month. So not sure what's going on there. But we'll get into some returns here. First one is a college hockey coach return. This is a 2 of 2 success from Northern Michigan head coach Grant Patolny. He was drafted into the NHL but did not play. Worked his way up through the coaching ranks, and he is in his 6th season as the head coach for Northern Michigan. I think he was a longtime assistant for Minnesota, so that's where those photos come from. Next one is an IndyCar return. This guy participated in 4 Indy 500s. He did some non-championship point races for Formula One, and he raced in a few other series, and he's been a long-time commentator, and got just back a really, really cool return. Sent 2 photos and got back 5 signed items from David Hobbs. So he signed both of my photos. He included this note, and a bunch of people have sent to him already, so I don't mind sharing the address. And then he included a couple of signed photos of his own. Some really nice looking ones. So very, very cool to get those. I think he's in his 80s now, so very glad to be able to add him to the collection. This last one from Friday, I'm not 100% sure about. Like I said, I've been trying to get more politicians, but you never really know if you're going to get an authentic signature, especially from an active politician. So I've been trying to base who I send to based off of who others are getting back and authentic stuff. My photos, I didn't receive my photos back, but I got back an 8x10 from current senator from Maine, Angus King. It looks like it could be hand signed, definitely with the like pen strokes and lifts and whatnot. But every other request that I've seen come back from him, there's usually like a message written on there, and you can tell that it's like been handwritten, and the autograph looks that way too. This is the first kind of thin signature that I've seen, so I don't know if he decided to just start pre-signing photos and just have those sent out for requests, or if he's auto penning now. I'm not sure. If anyone has any comparables that I could check out, or that you want to look at and let me know what you think, I would greatly appreciate it. Because all the other ones on Star Tiger are very, very different, so I don't have another one that is similar to see if maybe there is a slight difference, or if these are auto pen. Usually you can tell by the dots at the end, but that doesn't always mean that some of these people really do take their time in signing, and they'll leave the pen on the photo until they lift, and then at that point there's already kind of a dot. So who knows? But we'll get into the rest of the returns from today. We'll start off with a couple of NHRA successes. First one is a 3 of 3 from the winningest pro stock driver of all time, Greg Anderson. Signed all 3 of these in 30 days. So got his current hero card, an 8x10 that I had printed off, and I think this is last year's hero card. I don't know if I already had one of those signed. But he did break the 100-win barrier earlier this year, and he is going for a 6th or 7th World Championship. I don't remember who won last year. Then we got another 3 of 3 NHRA return from funny car driver J.R. Todd. Signed my custom, and then a couple of extra hero cards that I have. So really cool to get those. He has raced in both Top Fuel and Funny Car and won in both. So he's been a very, very skilled driver. I think he's won a championship as well. I don't remember what series it was in, but I'm pretty sure he won one. Then we got a hockey return. I got this confused for a different request that I sent to him before. So this one actually only took about 200 days, not 600 days, which I initially thought is what it was. This is a 2 of 2 success coming back from LA Kings player Kevin Fiala. These were sent to the Minnesota Wild this past offseason. He reached the end of his contract, and Minnesota wasn't going to be able to afford him, so they traded him to the LA Kings, and he signed a big extension to play for the team. Really stinks. I liked how good he was for the Minnesota Wild. The Wild were getting really exciting to watch. But due to some mistakes that they've made with the salary cap, they've had to let go of some good talent, and now they're really, really pressed on being able to add more for the next couple of seasons. So not sure how that's going to play out, but really, really cool to get Kevin Fiala again. Next one is a Baseball Hall of Famer. I have gotten him in the past, trying to do 1 by 1 to get his signature on these cards, but got back 1 of 1 from Mr. Larry Walker. He did personalize it, which is perfectly fine with me. He also included the nice Hall of Fame 2020 inscription. Didn't have to ask for it. I do need to buy another 1992 Leaf because he kept the one that I sent a long time ago. But gonna try and see how many I can get before he stops signing to fill out the sets. Then we have a former NFL quarterback. This is a 1 of 1 return. He does charge $10. Got it back from John Hadel. In the past, I think he charged more, but a lot of people weren't really willing to pay it. So it looks like he is willing to accept requests for a little bit less. $10 is not so bad, especially for a guy who didn't make the Hall of Fame. He is a 6-time Pro Bowler, has an All-Pro, has an NFL championship, but never made it to the Hall of Fame. So some thought that $20 was a little bit too much. But now that he only charges $10, not so bad. And the last one here should be a pretty nice one to the collection. Don't send to a lot of celebrities outside of sports, but there are some that I will make exception for. I do believe this to be at least hand signed, could be secretarial, not really sure, but definitely not an auto pen based off of all the other scans that I compared it to. But 1 of 1 from Western movie, cowboy movie legend, Sam Elliott. So he has been in countless films, done a number of voice acting roles, TV shows, and you can't mistake his voice just with how deep it is and that really gritty sound that he's got. But fantastic actor. Really glad to have that one come back. So hopefully at the start of next week I won't be getting so many failures and return to senders as I have been recently, and keep up with the good returns coming in. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Best luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.